Hey guys, I hope y'all are having a wonderful day today. So we're doing yet another foundation review. They are coming out left and right, and after this one I already have two more lined up. So today we're going to be checking out the new One Size Turn Up the Base Beauty Blur Balm Foundation. So we're going to be checking this out on my oily, acne prone 40 plus skin. So let's jump right into it. Okay, so I'm sure y'all have noticed in my last few foundation review videos that I've kind of changed the pace of it to keep the videos shorter and like more succinct, and you guys seem to really like that. So we're going to stick with that layout. So we're going to go right into a swatch, and then I'm going to try the makeup on. Then I'll give you guys the claims of the makeup and we'll see if they match up to my first impressions. And then of course we're going to be doing a wear test so that I can give you guys my final thoughts later on today. So I'm going to be checking out the shade Medium Dark 3, and this one is medium dark with rosy undertones. So let me show you guys the packaging because I really like this. So this has like this little thing up here, and I think this is really cute because normally when you have pouches like this you squeeze them out, but this one you're still going to squeeze it out. But I like this little thing up here. I think that's really cute. So let's start off with a little swatch of this. Oh, it probably has one of those, yeah, it has one of those protective seals on it. Okay, so right off the bat it's thicker than I was expecting. It's not too thick or anything. I was just expecting like a more liquidy formula. So this one is the shade, what did I say this was? Medium Dark 3, which is medium dark with a rosy undertone. So that's what the swatch looks like, and I think that this is going to be a pretty good match. So let's jump into trying it out on the face. Okay, I think that it's easier for me to maybe put some on my hand and then apply it to the face. The only thing about these types of applicators, or lack thereof I should say, is that I like to go by like the number of pumps that I'm using. So it's kind of hard for me to determine like if this is equivalent to a pump, but we're going to start off with that. And normally when I'm dealing with a thicker foundation, I like to blend those out with a sponge so that I can shear them out and then build them up to my liking. And then with thinner foundations, I like to go in with a brush so that I'm not losing too much of the foundation in the damp sponge. Now this one is thicker, but it's also it's lightweight, if that makes sense. Like it's more of like almost like a whipped texture is what it feels like. So even though it's not very liquidy, I think that I am still gonna go in with a brush for this one. So this is my Morphe E63 brush. So I'm just gonna start with blending it out on the cheek. And yeah, this will be a pretty good shade match for me. I really don't know what I was expecting in terms of coverage for this, but I would say this is a really nice medium coverage. Maybe not quite full because I'm seeing just a little bit of stuff still peeking through, but it's a really, really nice finish. Very first thing that you can't help but notice with this is that it has a really nice blurring effect, which the word blur is in the name, so that is to be expected, but that's like the very first thing that I notice. It's like really, really blurring right here on the sides of my nose. It's blending out really nicely, blending out really easily. And this one is like, it's unique because it's not like setting down too fast or anything. Like it's blending out really nicely, but it kind of, I can't even explain like what's happening here, but it's a good thing that's happening. It's kind of like setting down like really fast, but not to the point where you can't still go back and work with it. Like it's like as soon as you swipe it on your face, it just looks like you blended it out. I feel like that doesn't make sense, but I think that that's because of the blurring effect though. Like it's really, really blurring right here, but it doesn't look like, I guess, too filtered. It looks really, really nice. I feel like that was all over the place the way that I explained it, but I just don't think that I've ever tried a foundation that blends out like this quickly, I guess, and looks like this perfected so quickly. But it looks really nice. So my first impression, I'm getting medium coverage with this one, like to the point where I am going to build it up a little bit because I always like to test and see if foundations build up, but I think I'm getting medium coverage, a really nice blurring effect, and I think it's giving my skin like a very, very smooth look. So far I really, really like it. So let me know what y'all are thinking. So I'm going to apply it on the other side while we go over the claims, and then we'll see if the claims match up to my first impressions. Okay, the One Size by Patrick Starr Turn Up the Base Beauty Blur Balm Foundation. It is a revolutionary, one-of-a-kind blurring beauty balm that improves the appearance of skin texture with all-day hydration and comfortable all-day wear. It's a medium coverage with a natural finish, and the highlighted ingredients are white rose stem cells, which improves the appearance of skin tone and absorbs oil over time. Skin-like treated pigments, which is lightweight skin mimicking technology, which instantly blurs and feels like your skin. And it also has avocado and mango hydra blend that sounds really, really nice, that boosts hydration for visibly smooth skin texture. This retails for $33 and it's available in 18 shades. Okay, so here is what the foundation is looking like, and so far I love it. I think it looks really, really nice. Very nice and blurred, very nice and just like flawless looking. So I like it so far. Let's go on with one more coat just on the cheek area, and I just want to see if it builds up and it gives us any more coverage. It does claim to give medium coverage, which I already got, but I'm gonna put just a little bit more right on the cheek area just so we can see if we get full coverage. And then I'm concentrating this little bit of product like right here where I have a little bit more stuff that needs to be covered up. And I would say that it's slightly buildable. Like, I feel like the stuff that was right here is less visible now, but I still feel like I wouldn't call it full coverage, which it does claim to be medium. So it is giving me the coverage that it's claiming to give. And I think you can get a better sense of it on this side of the face because I had a little bit more to cover up over here. So a lot more of that stuff has disappeared. So it is slightly buildable. But yeah, I wouldn't consider this like full coverage, but yeah, it is slightly buildable, and I do think it's a nice like medium, a nice medium coverage. So let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna go ahead and put on my concealer, and then I'll show you how I'm gonna set the foundation for today. Okay guys, this is what my foundation is looking like after it's been sitting for about 3 to 5 minutes while I blended out my concealer, and I also set my under eye area. So I think that the foundation is really nice and set now, but it was really already set like as soon as I put it on. Like this one is kind of crazy to me, the way that it just ends up like sitting so nicely on the skin like immediately. Now, I was thinking that maybe I should only set one side of my face just to see how that works. And I'm really tempted to do that, but I don't know because I do have oily skin and I am starting to see a little bit of a radiance like in the T-zone area, but I think that that's more so because of the concealer that I just applied, not necessarily the foundation. I think though, I feel like I need to set my face. So I'm gonna do like a light dusting of powder today. So I'm gonna go in with my Kosas powder. This is the one that I've been using lately to set all of my foundations, and this is the brush that I've been using lately to set my foundations, and I just want you guys to see like how dense it is. I feel like with this foundation you can get away with a lighter dusting of powder even if you have oily skin because of the way it kind of sets down on its own. So instead I'm going to use this brush. This is the one I used to use all the time. It's just not quite as dense as that other brush that I just showed y'all. So I'm just going to pick up about that much. I'm still going to tap off the excess, and I'm just going to set the foundation. I think if you have dry skin, you don't even need to bother with setting this, but I haven't watched any other reviews yet, and I know like some of the people that I normally watch, some of them have dry skin, so I'm tempted to see how it worked out for them, but I do feel like I need to set it because I have oily skin, but it sets down really, really nicely on its own. So first impression, I really, really like it. I'm really excited about this wear test, and I can already think of a foundation that I want to do this one versus another foundation. Let me know if y'all are thinking what I'm thinking, like what foundation am I thinking about. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my makeup off camera, then I will come back and we will start our wear test. Okay, here's our look for today. So check the description box if you want to see what I have on my face. So let's get started with the wear test. I'm going to do a halfway mark check-in. Then I'll come back hopefully after about 8 hours and I'll give y'all my final thoughts. I'm really excited about this. So it is 9:40 Saturday morning, so I will see y'all hopefully in about 4 hours. Okay, y'all, it is about 1:45, so we're basically at the 4-hour mark. I am standing in front of a window, but the sunlight is going like in and out behind the clouds, so the lighting might change just a little bit. But eventually, when the weather gets warmer, it is so cold outside. It's cold and windy, but when the weather gets warmer, I will start doing these check-ins outside. But anyway, I'm in front of a window, and I think that you can still make out what my skin looks like. So this is what we're looking like, and again, it's been about 4 hours now. So let me know what y'all are thinking. I think my skin looks really good for 4 hours in. Now this morning when I put the foundation on, it gave me a really flawless natural matte finish. So the makeup claims to have a natural finish. This morning to me it looked more like a matte finish, but more like a natural matte. So now after being 4 hours in, and I would say you can tell that my natural oils have made an appearance, and I feel like they started popping up like maybe, I don't know, maybe a couple hours into wearing the foundation. But now that my oils have started to peek through, I think now the makeup looks more natural on me than it did 4 hours ago. So a lot of people with oily skin, a lot of times we like for our face to stay matte during the day. I actually prefer like this type of finish on my face because I think that my natural oils just make my face just look a bit more natural. You know what I mean? Like to me, this looks like a nice healthy glow. It doesn't look like my skin is oily. It just looks like I have a nice healthy glow going on. So I feel like my natural oils are playing very nicely with the finish of the foundation. So I actually like it better now than I did 4 hours ago. I'm really curious to see how people with dry skin are going to make out with this one, because I just feel like, I mean, of course I'm not speaking from experience, but I feel like people with dry skin are probably not really going to like this. I think that this is more geared toward an oily skin type. And then maybe if you have normal skin, if you like really moisturize underneath, you might like it. But I just feel like for drier skin, like the way that it looked when I first put it on, it might be a little too dry for dry skin, but I think it's going really well for me and my oily skin. So let me know what y'all think about how we're looking so far. So I hope to make it to about 5:30, 6 o'clock, and then I will give y'all my final thoughts, but I am really happy so far. So I'll see y'all a little bit later on. Okay guys, I am back and it's almost 6 o'clock. So we did basically an 8-hour wear test for today. So let me know what y'all are thinking after 8 hours of wear. I think that my face still looks pretty good. I think that on the forehead area, I guess on the forehead and on the nose area, I'm looking just like a little bit more shiny than I was at the 4-hour check-in. But I think overall for 8 hours of wear on my oily skin, I think that this wore really nicely. So the only small thing that I'm noticing, and I think I'm noticing it because it's on my skin and I'm testing the product out, but I think if somebody were looking at me from a normal distance, they wouldn't notice this, but it does look just a little drier around the mouth area. Like you might be able to tell on camera. I think you can tell on camera that around the mouth area, I'm just not as shiny as the rest of my T-zone, and I do usually get shiny on my chin when my oils start to come out. But it's not so much that the makeup looks dry in this area. I do notice like some very minimal caking, and when I say minimal, it's minimal to the point where like I would still wear this foundation again. Like I noticed that it's breaking up just like ever so slightly in my smile line, and then just like a little bit of what looks like caking on the chin area. But like I said, super minimal. I would still wear this again. And what we're going to do next is we're going to blot off. So I feel like when I blot off the rest of my T-zone, that's going to make this look less minimal because the rest of my face will not be shiny. But like I said, other than that, I think that the makeup still looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and blot. So I'm just taking a clean piece of tissue here, and I'm just gonna blot in the T-zone area. Okay, so this is what we're looking like after we blot off all of the excess oil, and as I expected, it looks just fine. So like I said earlier, this foundation, it kind of sets down on its own to a natural matte finish, so I'm not even going to bother repowdering because I just don't think that I need to with this one. So my final thoughts on this foundation, I would definitely recommend it for someone who has oily skin. If you have dry skin, maybe not so much, but for me and my oily skin, I really like the way that this wore on me today. So I am am going to be doing a follow-up video on this. So hopefully my next video is going to be the, what's the other new foundation that just came out? The Makeup Forever foundation. So hopefully that's going to be my next video, and then after that I'm going to do a follow-up video of this, comparing it side by side to the Charlotte Tilbury foundation. So this is the one that I was thinking about earlier when I said I wanted to do a side by side. I do already know that there are some differences between the two, but I think overall they are very similar, especially with the blurring aspect of both of these foundations. So I am going to be doing this, so be on the lookout for that. So I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, please let me know by giving me a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel before you head out, and I will see y'all back here for my next one. Until then, take care. Have a good one, y'all. Bye.